In this video, we will learn how to create Cedex estimates, and these will be using the Cedex format that is required by many steamship lines and most leasing companies. And for Maersk and some other custom formats, we will have some other videos available later to show you how to enter those. For now, what we are going to do is first create a new invoice estimate. Click the New button, pick your account that you need, and hit enter a tab. That will get all of your account settings. You're going to select the labor rate if you have multiple rates, otherwise it'll go to your default. If you know who a mechanic is, you can assign it now or just leave this blank. We are doing a container repair. We're going to enter in a container number. It will try to check the check digit. It will tell you if it doesn't like this number format or not. I'm just going to keep this number. And I'm going to pick a size of a 20-foot standard. And now we are ready to input our damages. So the lines down here will contain the damages or the items that we are estimating. And we can come in and pick from groups to look for things that have been pre-built. So if I pick door, I'm only going to see items that are in the door category. We have one that we were working with, which is a complete door. I can hit enter a tab after I select it to get everything. This is the quantity for one. This is the price for the material in the middle here. This is the labor quantity and the total labor by the hours. If we want to adjust any of this, we can click in here and adjust our material or our hours as needed. This 4 hours. And then we've got our pricing. Now in this section is the EDI coding that you will need. A component is the type of the container for the doors, floors, panels, things like that. So each area for the type of material will have a component. You can pick a damage. So in this case, we're going to say it was bent. You can pick a repair, which could be any one of these repairs. So it could be a straighten, replace, whatever you want it to be. You can also type the first letter to get the code that you want. Material normally is unspecified. Not too many lines ever care about the material, but we do supply the whole list. And then you can pick a location. If you're not sure of the exact location, just pick the closest one. And ones that have like all letters in it usually mean complete door. Ones with the numbers in it is a certain panel. And if you need other information on these exact locations, we can supply you with some stuff. So we have our Cedex coding, we have our pricing that we want to charge. We can hit add repair, and now it drops down to the bottom, and this is our first line of repair that we're doing for this unit. If I want to edit that repair, I can click it, brings it back up to the top. Once I make my changes, I can hit update to save it again. So this is the first line of repair, and this is the minimum requirement for saving an estimate. So we need to have our equipment, our account, and at least one line of repair. So to continue with this estimate, if I want to add another line of repair, I just saved where I was clicking, so now it shows add repair again. I'm on the next line. If I know my code, I can just start to type here, and everything will come up as I type. If I know a description, I can type the description here, and I can search by description to find what I'm looking for. So you can search either way, or you can go by groups to further filter things down. So I'm going to say flooring now, and I'm going to come in and look for some flooring parts. So here is a laminated plank flooring I'm just going to take. This one has no pre-built pricing or codes yet. So this one will have to be set up for use. So I'm going to fill in my materials price, which I'm just going to say this is going to be $30 in material. Or if I wanted to say per foot, if this was 5 feet at $10 each, I could do it that way too. It's a matter of how do you want to do your pricing. For labor, I'm going to say 2 hours, comes up with the hours. And you can also set a labor quantity that matches your quantity so that if you put in 5, it would be 5 times a certain amount to fill this in. So there's more things that we can do, but in this video, for an example, we're just keeping it simple here. So there's my pricing, and it already has the component for flooring. So I'm going to say damage is broken, just hitting a B, broken split, repair is replace, hitting an R, say remove material, and I'm picking a floor location, add repair. Now we've got 2 different repairs on this job that we've done. The other thing that we can do, if I highlight this, since we created this pricing just now and we created this labor time and these codes, these buttons here, this is save repair codes. So if I click that, it will save all of these codes against this FLB for the next time I use it, so I don't have to pick them all again. If I hit the SLT is save the labor totals, which will save my labor pricing from up here, and this one is save the part totals, which is the materials. So now whenever I use this FLB, everything will come back up again, so I don't have to type it. So I'm going to hit update repair to put it back down here. We're on the next line. If I type in FLB, enter, that comes up with everything that we saved as our defaults. If I needed to just change one thing, hit 8, change that, upped my labor to match for the hours. I could hit add repair, and now I have another repair job that we did for planking, but it will still hold my original defaults that we saved because I didn't click the buttons again. So that is the easiest way to set up a part, fill in your values, and be able to save them. Now what we're going to do is to create an item. We had shown you how to add items that were already in the system on the pick list here, but if you have something that's not on here that you need, you can click create down here at the bottom. You can come up with whatever you want to call it, and in this case I'm going to call it floor panel. And I'm even going to say that this will be a 4 by 4 foot plywood floor panel, and I'm going to give it a sale price. If I want to give it my material price, I can say that this will be $80, and my default labor time would be 2 hours, and this is what it would come up with by default each time. If I want to give it a category, I can put it in the flooring category, and it's in the default tariff because that's what we're working with right now. Everything is here. I can save this, and now this will be a new item in the system that we can sell. Say no. So I'm on my new line, and if I type in floor, there's my floor panel 4 by 4. I can pick it as the pricing that I created. I can pick that this is going to be floor planking or whatever component that I want to assign to it. Broken split, and should be a, just going to say move on here. So now I just gave it a set of codes. These codes can be whatever you need them to be, or better yet, whatever the steamship line says you should use for that type of job. Some steamship lines will take almost anything down here. Others are very picky. So if you get errors with them, they normally will tell you what would be the proper code they want you to use for this. Once you fix a code, if you use the SRC button, that will save them so that it will be correct the next time. So for this one I just made, I'm going to save these prices and codes. Now I've saved them for the next time that I sell them, and I can hit add repair, and I now have a new item in the system. You can create as many items as you want, and you could repeat this process, and you could make a floor panel 1, 2, 3, 4, whatever you want to call it. Nobody sees these codes except you. These codes, these item or parts right here, this portion does not EDI out. The only thing that EDIs out are these codes up here and the pricing. So, and in some cases, the descriptions will go too. You can make a whole bunch of different sizes as you want, pre-built, to make it a little easier for all the common things that you sell. Another thing that can be done is we can create a flat rate price. Something common is a washout. And we can say this is a flat rate of $45. And I can say this is a container job. It's already in the default. I'm going to save it. So now if I am on my new line, I say washout and quantity of 1, it will use the default price for the flat rate instead of the labor price. So it gives you an override for your labor on what you're going to do. And this would be also something that we have to pick codes on. I think there is a dirty code, and there might be a washout. And this is the complete inside of the container. I'm going to save those codes, add repair. Now I have a washout that I can use every time with a flat rate. Now that we have everything we need on here, we can print this. We can print work orders or just plain save it and come back and print later. I'm going to just save it to the system. If I want to see all of my estimates, I can come to the Invoice Estimate Center, and here's the one that we just created. We can double click if we want to edit or change anything on here. We can change the status of estimates from here using the status. We can convert to invoices, so there's a lot of things we can do. There is some different printing functions you can do, and work orders and email and things like that too. Here's what our print looks like. And if we want to block print or block email, we can select a bunch down the side and use these buttons to send out things in larger groups too. That concludes how to create a Cedex estimate, the basics for entering and creating items. And in another video, we'll show you how to create and send the EDI and do other functions too. Thank you.